podcast called Live in the Stream comes to you each week. Streaming recommendations during NFL season, it's not just tongue-in-cheek. Quarterback, defense, tight end recommendations based on opposition matchup. Here are your podcast hosts, JJ Zacharyson and Danny Carter. Live in the Stream.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living the Stream. I'm JJ Zacharyson, the lay-around quarterback, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Denny Carter. Denny, how's it going, buddy?
Man, that was a fast read. You sounded like when I have you on 1.5 speed on the podcast.
People think that when I do my my DraftKings bit, the disclaimer on the podcast,
Right?
people think that I am like speeding it up. But like, I'm not. I mean, I can do it right now. I have it right in front of me. Like,
Yeah, can you do
gambling
it?
problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY. And in Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. 18 plus most age. Eligibility restrictions apply. Ends December 31st. See terms at DraftKings.com/promotions.
Yeah, see, I thought, obviously I've heard you say that. I thought that was sped up, like you read it normally and then you sped it up for the show.
No, I just did it. I just did it for you guys.
I'm impressed. I don't even know what to say. Maybe you have a second career as a what do you call the auctioneer?
Yeah, I'm not. I feel like my brain doesn't work properly enough for me to, like, I stutter too much. I wouldn't be able to do that kind of thing. I think if anything, like Reeves would be good at it.
Yeah, God, he does talk fast.
Reeves talk fast. Yeah, he can talk quickly. So I have a story I want to tell you.
All right.
I want your reaction. I want to hear what people say, because I think a lot of people have experienced this probably before. So
Okay.
over the weekend, we decided that we didn't decide this over the weekend, but we did the thing over the weekend a month or two ago. Like every year we go and we meet my family at a pumpkin patch in between here and Raleigh, because my family largely lives in Raleigh now. So my brother, my sister, my parents, we all meet up at this pumpkin patch. It's in the middle of Charlotte and Raleigh. Okay. We have to drive an hour and a half. They have to drive like an hour. Okay.
Mhm.
And so this is not I actually wrote about this in the intro of my 15 transactions column this week. So some of you guys have already heard this story. So this isn't like a 20-minute drive where you can just get the kids in the car and just kind of go and not have to worry about like occupying them in the car and stuff like that. Right.
Uh-huh.
So we hop in the car and we start driving. CJ that morning had some milk, like a bottle of milk, like a sippy cup of milk. And then he had more milk in the car. And he wasn't really like eating that much. And so we're driving and he's like pretty quiet for the first like hour of the trip. And which is surprising because he's a toddler and toddlers fuss and they, they hate everything. Like toddlers really don't like living.
They're unhappy a lot of the time.
Yeah. I mean, when they're happy though, they're joyous. Like there's no one happier on earth. There's just a lot of manic situations going on there.
Discontent, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we're driving, and about an hour in, I like looked at him. I was like, man, CJ's been pretty quiet. And then we're like, CJ, you feeling all right? And he's like, yeah. And then literally like 3 or 4 minutes later, we hear this is what we hear. You ready? I'm going to try to, I have not practiced this at all. So this could go really, really south. Okay. It's like something like that. It was like sloshing, a cough and some sloshing. Okay. And we turn around. Amanda turns around. She's in the passenger seat. He puked all over himself.
Yeah. Sounds like puke.
Just peed all over the bee, all over his body. Okay. And so we're an hour in, and we're like, in those moments as a parent, you're like, is this kid like car sick right now?
Right.
Or are we all about to get hit by the stomach bug?
And that happens big time. I don't know if you've ever been there, but one time Xavier woke up. He was like 2 or 3 years old. Woke up, immediately threw up, and I was like, "Oh man, I think he's sick." Yeah. And I threw up, and then like 15 minutes later, Melissa threw up, and I was like, "Well, we're all done."
Yeah. So, I mean, we've had the stomach bug, but not all at the same time like that. That sounds like death. And so we were like, okay, what do we do? We're half hour from the pumpkin patch. I text my family and say, hey, just so you guys know, CJ threw up, but what we're going to do, we don't have a change of clothes for him because he's kind of past that age now where like, you don't have to really worry about the change of clothes.
Yeah.
And he had like he had like pants on with a Lightning McQueen sweatshirt. It was a black sweatshirt.
That's cute.
And we're in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina. I mean, I'm talking like middle of nowhere. And we fortunately realized that kind of on the way there was a Marshall's. And so we stopped at Marshall's.
All right.
And we got, Amanda ran in there, got a $10 sweatsuit, and it was another Lightning McQueen sweatsuit. CJ was dressed, just to give you a vision, like, you know, you go to the pumpkin patch and usually like your toddler and your kids have like something fall on, you know, or something like, you know, that they look like they were dressed by an adult, you know. And CJ gets there and he is wearing an all red sweatsuit. He looked like Tim Allen in the Santa Claus.
That's really funny.
Hoodie, it had a hologram, like, you know, one of those, like at a certain angle you see a different picture on his shirt kind of thing with Lightning McQueen. Ended up being that he was not sick. It was he was fine at the pumpkin patch. It was
too much milk.
It was the milk. It was TMM, too much milk.
Too much milk. I like how you can instantly come up with acronyms for things that don't require an acronym at all.
TMM. Everyone knows TMM.
No one, no one knows. Would you say peeing the bee?
Yeah, he was puking on the body. Yeah,
I actually thought it was puking in the back seat.
Could be either or.
Oh man, that I remember that stomach bug that hit us all on the same morning. Like we woke up, oh man, the kid's sick. Oh, now I'm sick. Now you're sick. And then we started getting texts from other parts of the family.
Oh gosh.
So and so woke up throwing up. Mom woke up throwing up. Sister woke up throwing up. And I was like, wait, what happened at dinner last night? Like, because we had all had dinner
have I told you? I probably have, because we were probably podcasting during and after or whatever. But Christmas, like 6 years ago, actually it would have been 7 years ago or 8, because Amanda was pregnant with Avery, but she was very early in the pregnancy. It was like we had just found out, so she was like 8 or 9 weeks. And we literally had told, it was Christmas break, and we literally had told her family in Pittsburgh that she was pregnant. And we went out to a dinner for her sister's birthday, which is around the same time as it's like the 21st. And we go out to a Mexican place downtown Pittsburgh. And a day and a half later was Christmas morning. And we all woke up and we were all puking.
Oh, I remember that.
On Christmas morning.
That.
And we all, and 4 of us got admitted to the ER. We had to go to the ER. It was that bad.
You had to get IVs.
Had to get IVs. I couldn't stop throwing up. And it got to the point where like the colors coming out of my body were not normal. Like it was,
oh no,
it was really, really bad. Everyone else kind of like settled and got better. I didn't. And they admitted me to the hospital to like stay overnight. And it was a game. The Steelers were playing the Texans. And I remember DeAndre Hopkins scored in that game, because I didn't get to watch the game, but Hopkins apparently went nuts in the game. And I woke up from like a nap, and I was like, I'm not staying here overnight. Get me out of here. So I had to like sign a form to like let myself out of the hospital. Like I didn't need to stay overnight. I was just really dehydrated and like obviously sick. We'll come to find out, there was a bad queso that we all ate from this place.
Wow.
My brother-in-law, he was just a boyfriend at the time. Now brother-in-law is a lawyer, and we actually got money from the restaurant.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, for everything. And not only that, but Amanda was pregnant, so it was even like a bigger deal.
Right.
Yeah. But it was quite the experience.
Well, we didn't plan on going 10 minutes on vomit to start the show, but we hope you enjoy it. There will be poop talk later.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at week 6. Pretty good week overall, Denny. Jackson Dart, 23.6 points against Philadelphia.
So good.
Sam Darnold, 20 points. Bryce Young, 18.5. Bryce Young basically almost did exactly what we talked about with him averaging like 12.7, and then you add the Dallas bonus.
I thought of your Dallas bonus during the game. I was like, oh, this is the JJ Dallas bonus. Oh, can I tell you a horrible mistake I made in the discourse online Sunday morning? I got into it not into it, but like kind of into it with a Bryce Young truther on Blue Sky. And this guy said, look, there's no way that we can know whether Bryce Young is good or bad. And I said, no, there are ways. There are measurable ways. There are things, statistics, metrics. There are ways we can measure his performance. He said, no. I'm talking about real evaluation. Like,
Sure.
Because sometimes he's bad, but sometimes he's good.
Sure.
So you can't know. He said you have to give a quarterback at least 4 to 5 years before you know whether they're good or bad.
4 to 5.
4 to 5.
Wow.
So just for any NFL GMs listening to the show, you got to give your guy 5 years before of uninterrupted starts. 5 years of starts before you know he's good or bad. All right. So I'm going back and forth. I'm saying EPA, dropback success rate, intermediate throw. He's terrible. Right. And then I go, oh no, what have I done? This guy's about to play the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. You're screwed.
This guy's about to play the worst coverage unit in modern NFL history. I'm trying not to overstate it, but I feel like that's kind of what it is.
Sure, we can say that.
And I actually said that. I said like something, LOL, I can't believe I'm having this argument with you and he's about to roast the Cowboys. And he was like, no, you said what you said. Right.
That's funny at least. That's fun.
So it comes down to today. Okay. So of course Bryce Young goes off and he comes back with a salute emoji. And I was like, I'm not even mad. I stepped into that one.
That was your fault.
I need to have this argument before he plays the Texans or something.
Yeah, or at least start with that part.
Yeah.
Like open, like. By the way, I don't know if you realized or not, but this is the yearly the annual crap on PFF day.
Oh, it is. Oh, I did. Yeah. Are folks celebrating? What happened?
No, so folks are mad about their grades. We've never seen this happen before.
Oh, any grade in particular?
So I guess Myles Garrett had a favorable grade, even though he did nothing statistically against the Steelers, and they were explaining why he had a good grade, and it was because like the Steelers defended him really, really well. He still was really good. They just defended him really well.
Yeah.
And so people are really, really pissed off about that, which I get to a degree. The thing that I don't really like agree with the PFF hate is like, no one is selling this as perfection.
No,
like why can't we just have like a thing that's there? And I can maybe understand if you're like a player and you're out there and like they're just putting your grade on NBC, and not to, I'm not trying to crap on your company, so you can shut your mouth while I say this, but like players being frustrated with like Sunday Night Football or something, and they're showing their grade like 55th out of 57 or something like that. When that's like there's going to be some subjectivity and people don't really understand that there's that. Like, I would be mad if people did that with like fantasy analysts and like rankings contests or something like that, So I kind of get it from that perspective, but the everyday person getting so frustrated at PFF grades is just so strange to me. There's so much other bad content out there that they don't get mad at, and then they just focus on this.
Also, like when you're talking about a defensive lineman, a team can easily neutralize a defensive lineman if they dedicate enough resources. That happened to JJ Watt earlier this year, where he was just completely wiped out from the game plan because some team like literally triple teamed him on every play.
Well, the problem is that you get the TJ versus Myles Garrett, like
TJ is what I meant.
Yeah. We all know what you meant. But you get the TJ Watt versus Myles Garrett battle every year with like Pittsburgh fans and Pittsburgh media. Pittsburgh media gets so mad when Myles Garrett gets any sort of love.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Any love. Like they're like, oh my gosh, TJ has such better numbers and blah, 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 blah. And like, and then someone else is like saying that this is not unlike like a Darrelle Revis, Revis Island situation where like you're not throwing his way, so his numbers don't look as good. And then people are like, well, then why aren't you doing the same thing for TJ? It's like, guys, it doesn't matter. Like
it really doesn't.
Won. Just be happy the Steelers destroyed them.
I feel like you can get worked up about other stuff. I remember a Myles Garrett quote after that Steelers game where he said, they were really on me, like they were chipping me, they were double teaming me. He said, I couldn't have gotten to the quarterback, and this is a actual real quote, I think, if I had been butt ass naked, is what he said. So in other words, it doesn't matter. Like even if they didn't have any clothes to hold me, I still couldn't get there. And I thought of, how jealous I would be if I saw him butt naked on a football field.
Oh my God.
The specimen that he is.
He is a specimen. All right. We also had Mac Jones at 11 points. He was a disappointment. I'm kind of happy that Mac Jones was kind of mid last week because I really was like annoyed by the anti-Purdy discourse. I mean, you're not going to be shocked by that just because it was so irrational, and I just hate that kind of like reactionary like stance on stuff.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know you love
I like
it. You relish. Yeah, you love it. But for me, I just he wasn't that great. I know that he threw for a good number of yards and he was like, but like
347.
Yeah, I know. But like I'm saying, like as a quarterback, like I wonder what his expected points was per drop back this past week. I can check it out while we're talking.
All I know is that Mac Jones was made for this system.
I agree.
Whether he's better than Purdy, I don't know.
He's not better than Brock Purdy, guys. He's not better than Brock Purdy.
Okay, arm strength, Purdy has the advantage.
He's not better than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy has more mobility.
Mobility, Purdy has the advantage. But vibes, I think Mac Jones has.
Right, it's fair. Mac Jones. I'm trying to pull up his EPA per dropback.
Yeah, it's not great. I looked it up because I was going to be.
Yeah. It was minus 0.19.
I wanted to have a post be like, Mac Jones is not just the best quarterback in San Francisco, he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, minus 0.19 per dropback this past week. So yeah, he scored 11.2 points. Harold Fannin scored 15.1. That was good. Mason Taylor scored 1.2. That was not good. Cardio Cade scored 10.1.
All right.
That was good. Theo Johnson scored 4.7. That was not good. Jake Tungus, don't call me Tungus, scored 11.8. Michael Mayer had 16.
Let's go.
Michael Mayer was great last week. Defenses, we had New England was 5. That's kind of mid. Jacksonville was only 2, but they were a deeper play for us. We said that on the show. Vegas was one of the main ones, and they scored 16. They had a great outing. So last week was pretty good overall from a streaming perspective.
Michael Mayer was targeted on like 40% of his routes. Is crazy.
Yeah, he had a 32% target share. We're gonna talk about him on today's show. Actually,
we have no choice.
Yeah, shocking. All right, let's get to quarterback, Denny, for here in week 7. I'll kick it off. All right,
okay.
I'm gonna kick it off with today's cover boy. This week's cover boy, Aaron Rodgers.
All right.
And I really like Rodgers on Thursday night. I think the downside is that it's Thursday night, and we never know how things will go down on a Thursday night with a Thursday night game. It's also a division game, so there's a little bit of weirdness there. On paper, though, okay, the Bengals are top 5 in adjusted fantasy points allowed to quarterbacks. This is the second. I do my pressure rate matchups where I look at allowed and given by each team. This is the second best matchup by pressure rate behind only Kansas City having the better pressure rate matchup because the Bengals aren't generating pressure. Hendrickson's out too. Yeah.
Right. I was going to say it's even better than you think.
Yeah. And so we have that going for him from a pressure rate standpoint. It's like I said, second best matchup only to Kansas City, who gets Vegas this week. And then here's the other thing. In a clean pocket this year, Aaron Rodgers, here are the quarterbacks better than Aaron Rodgers is according to PFF and passer rating in a clean pocket. Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold, and Josh Allen. That's it.
All right, let's go.
So 24-point implied team total. You got Joe Flacco on the other side who can hopefully move the ball and keep things, at least keep the Steelers foot on the gas to some degree. So yeah, let's stream Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I had the same. I was looking into that matchup, and the Bengals just have no chance of pressuring Rodgers, and that's probably really bad for them. All right, Jackson Dart against Denver. Now, I know we just saw a rushing quarterback completely flop against the Broncos and Justin Fields. So I get if you're hesitant here to go with Jackson Dart against the Broncos.
It's a bad streaming week. Like Aaron Rodgers is the top streamer this week.
It's really bleak. Last week I felt really confident. This week not as much. But Jack, so the 40.5 point total for this game, really bad. 16.5 point implied total for the Giants. It's that, it's hideous. It like almost doesn't get worse. But you're talking about a guy in Jackson Dart who has a 23% scramble rate against man coverage. The Broncos play man coverage at one of the highest rates in the league. I actually think at the highest rate. Overall, his scramble rate is 14%, which I believe is in the top 3. I didn't write that down for some reason. Anyway, he has 30 rushes over his past 3 games. I think you can kind of pencil him in for like 8 to 10 rushes here, and hopefully maybe he finds the end zone on one of those. But I get if you want to kind of avoid him in 1 QB leagues.
I'm going to talk about Sam Darnold here, but I was telling Denny before the show, like I feel terrible about Sam Darnold this week. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to play him. Denny can talk some sense into me, but I know that he's been top 10 in 3 of his 4 last 4 starts, last 4 games.
Yeah.
So he's been good. Like I said, I just read you the clean pocket quarterbacks, and he's been one of the best quarterbacks in a clean pocket this year. But Houston is great at getting the quarterback. I think they have the highest pressure rate in football right now.
Mm-hmm.
They also are the worst opponent for quarterbacks by adjusted fantasy points allowed.
Mm-hmm.
They face Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward, and Cooper Rush. Now, obviously, these numbers have some adjustments that I try to get in there with, like Lamar Jackson being sidelined and Cooper Rush only scores 1.2 points against them. But with that being said, they held Cam Ward to 4.5, well lower than his I mean, not much lower, but lower than his season-long average. Trevor Lawrence scored 7.8, lower than his season-long average. Baker Mayfield, 19.9, lower than his season-long average. And Matthew Stafford, 13.6, lower than his season-long average. Like, I'm thinking you're going to cross your fingers for Sam Darnold to get 15 or 16 points in this game. That's why I'm nervous.
That makes sense. Also, JSN finally has a bad matchup here against Stingley, and the Texans have been really good against slot receivers. I'm not saying you're worried about JSN, but I'm just saying, like, as far as JSN like carrying Darnold, I worry about that. But Darnold third in passing yards, first in yards per attempt. What is he? Third in touchdowns. He has 2 turnover worthy plays on the season. 2.
Yeah, he's been playing great. He's been playing really great.
I struggle to bench someone like that. He probably doesn't come with like a giant ceiling here or anywhere really, or anytime. But I would play him over Dart, just for instance.
Yeah, I think Dart's, I mean, yes, I'm more worried about Dart the more that I like remember what I talked about last week. Which, like, I went on the Late Round Fantasy Football show last week, and I give 2 bold predictions every week. One of them was that Jawan Jennings was gonna have a great game, and that didn't happen because apparently he has broken everything that we didn't know about.
And he was being lectured on the sideline as Kyle
It's really a terrible bold prediction. But the other bold prediction was that I said on the show that Justin Fields was going to S the B against Denver because of how good they've been against mobile quarterbacks. Just every single quarterback they face that's been mobile, they've stopped them from doing anything. And so I worry, the more I've thought about my initial Jackson Dart ranking, the more that tomorrow when I update them, he's probably going to be bumped down even further. The quarterback position just sucks this week. Like, Aaron Rodgers realistically could be a top 15 like quarterback by ranking, not even by like finish, So yeah, that's where I'm nervous. I can understand going Darnold over Dart. I might still go Dart though, just because there just probably is more upside.
Dude, can we talk about the Giants players and coaches storming the blue medical tent to get Jackson Dart out of there on Thursday night?
They got the whole front office was in the blue medical tent.
What is that? That's inappropriate. Like, that's insane. It's not cool for Brian Daboll to come over and be like, get him out of there. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah. No, really
also Dart, he's a smart kid, and I'll tell you why. He did that thing. So Josh Allen, when Josh Allen suffers a concussion, he starts working out some other part of his body. My knee, my ankle, my elbow, right? Oh, my elbow, my shoulder hurts so much. I don't know if I can go back in. But really, he can't see straight, if he can see at all. They take him to the blue medical tent. He's like, oh, get my shoulder. Okay, my shoulder's good. He never acknowledges the head injury. That's what Dart was doing. Dart was flexing his leg, and I'm like, come on, man. You didn't hurt your leg. We saw it. You got knocked right in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a weird and gross situation. I mean, Jackson Dart himself, though, super fun as a player.
He's a fun guy. I would say don't spear defenders with the crown of your helmet. That's just my advice.
Are you I'm actually curious about this. Are you like pro or anti Cam Scadaboo? Not as a play. I'm just being like the vibes. I'm not talking about like fantasy or anything like that.
I like the vibes. I usually try to be very analytical, but in the preseason, I was like, I don't care that this guy has a hamstring injury. He's going to take this job over based on vibes.
Just vibes only.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be in the league for a long time. I mean, it's going to be a fun flash in the pan type thing, and I hope he makes the most out of it. But he's good. He was good in college. I don't understand how the film guys didn't get behind Scadaboo.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really good production profile. Like I said in my prospect guide, he had the second best production profile in this class behind Genty. Like it was that was it. And then he had a really bad speed score because he's not fast. And we're seeing like his explosive run rate in college was pitiful. And we're seeing that now. Like he's not breaking big runs. He's just giving you like grinded out yards, and that works with what they probably want to do, right? I think the biggest thing, because rankings wise, I had Tyrone Tracy ahead of Cam Scadaboo like entering the season, but I was higher on both because I just like ambiguous backfields, right? So I want to attack these question mark backfields. I think that the Jackson Dart thing is what really is going to hinder like Tyrone Tracy, is that like he's sort of like the dynamic piece in a way to that backfield, when that would have been like with a Kirk Cousins, Matthew Stafford statue quarterback, you need that like dash, but the dash is now Jackson Dart, Well,
and on the flip side, Scadaboo saw 2 targets against the Eagles last week. That's probably not going to cut it. Like he's going to need to see more.
Yeah, I mean, like he's not. If we're being totally realistic, like every position sucks in fantasy football right now, right? Someone said name question for JJ. Is it Scadaboo or Scadaboo? I remember it being Scadaboo whenever I was.
It's Boo, as in spooky season.
But everyone says Bo because that's the way it seems it should.
I get that, yeah.
But what was I gonna? Oh, like I do my rest of season rankings every week, and Scadaboo is like a high end RB2 for me right now. But it's not even so much that like I think he is so spectacular. It's that every position sucks in fantasy. Like there's like 10 good players and 20 good players in fantasy football, and then it's just a cluster. Like there's no, and then we keep losing guys. Like it's just it's an absolute mess of a season, and it's just going to be one of those years where like hopefully you can get by like through bye weeks and through this like these hamstrings and stuff, and then hopefully everything kind of comes together in the fantasy playoffs for you, and you can make a run then.
It's a warning or a hopeful message to those who have gotten off to a terrible start in their fantasy leagues.
Yeah.
Is keep going. Everybody's hurting, and it's a long season. And if your guys get healthy, you can start putting up points. You can start winning. Don't give up.
Yeah, I mean, like I have teams right now that are like 5-1, and I'm like, how am I 5-1? And I look at my team, I'm like, I don't feel very good about this team. And then every matchup I have every week, I'm like, oh, this team is terrible too. Like that team's bad. You just had to, if you got like one or two, like if you got a Mecca Igbuka in the middle round, especially in home leagues when he was going in like round 8, if you got a Mecca Igbuka, like he alone is getting you like 3 or 4 wins this year, like just based on the value that you got in drafting him. Or Javonte Williams has been a big get, and like those values, if you got some of those values, like you're still in it more than likely. I mean, obviously Igbuka, hopefully he's back after the bye. I think he'll be back after the bye.
I hope so.
Yeah.
All right. What are we on now?
We are on Joseph Flacco Jr.
Oh, okay. Yes. And that's mine, correct?
Yes.
So Flacco, let's see. The Bengals were still pretty pass heavy, 58% neutral pass rate against the Packers. That jumped to 77% when the Bengals fell behind last week. So it's the Flacco experience. It's tons of drop backs. He was pushing the ball a little further down the field in his first game with the Bengals than he had been with the Browns. Getting it out quickly. You're just hoping that they have to throw it 50 times basically here, and that Flacco can throw for 250 yards and a touchdown, or maybe 2 here. But like super flex wise, I feel like you just go ahead and start him. Just live a little.
I think if you're struggling, like I have teams that have like Kyler Murray or like Jordan Love. I mean, Jordan Love's fine, but like, players that are like more high end 2s, maybe low end 1s. Have you looked at their rest of season schedule? the Bengals.
It's good.
It's fantastic. I even think Chase Brown could be relevant based on like low end RB2 relevant. I'm saying, not back to where people were drafting him. But they get the Jets, Bears, Steelers. They get the Steelers this week. Then the Jets, Bears, Steelers again, Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, Cardinals to end the fantasy season. I mean, those are all basically plus matchups aside from the Bills game. And I don't even, I mean, the Bills might even be more of a plus matchup than at least they were whenever I looked at that on Monday before that game happened.
Bills are real bad on defense.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually think that Flacco can be rostered in a lot of like definitely 14 team single quarterback leagues, but even some 12s. All right, let's go to tight end. I'll kick things off. I'll go with Harold Fannin.
All right.
Likely no David Njoku. Fannin went 7 for 81 last week. A lot of it was garbage time, but that's fine. We could get garbage time in any game.
Yeah.
Maybe not this game though. This game is actually only has a 2.5 point spread. Low total. We don't love that. 39.5 points. It's in Cleveland, but Miami's the 7th best matchup for tight ends by adjusted points allowed. And they're the 4th best matchup by adjusted target share allowed to tight ends. So I think Fannin without Njoku, pretty strong option overall.
Browns have targeted their tight ends on 33% of their throws this year. That is, I believe, the second highest rate.
Yeah, I can actually look right now and see if how high it is. Why don't you go to the next? Yeah, 33%, and it is the second highest behind only Arizona.
Arizona, right?
Yeah.
I have Kadrick Otten, the 4th against the Lions. This game has a 52.5 point total, which is second highest on the week, only behind the Cowboys and Commanders. Otten, I had to triple check these numbers because Cardio K doesn't really see this sort of volume, but 11 targets for Otten over the past 2 games with everybody else out for the Bucs. Basically, his target per route run, JJ, I don't know if you're ready for this. You might faint. Target per route run 26%.
Wow. This is remember that 4-game stretch last year, something like that, where he was really, really people were like league winner Cade Otten.
Yeah. It's Grok Otten, some were calling him.
Yeah, Gronk.
I mean, his target per route run is usually around 10, honestly, 10%.
Yeah.
26%. But ball's got to go somewhere. So maybe it's him.
Negative game script this week too, potential. All right, I'm gonna go to Aronde Gadsden, not his father. This is an easier play if Quentin Johnston doesn't go, but he's seen route shares of 28%. This is sort of the way I'm gonna phrase this is it reminded me of when there's an ankle sprain and you say that it's getting higher and higher,
never been higher,
yeah. Because this is what's going on with Gadsden's route shares right now: 28%, 50%, 61%, then 77% route shares. What's next week? 103% route share? I mean, what are we going to see?
I did the math. It will be between 103 and 105%.
Yeah, so he's going to be running routes even when the offense isn't on the field. He's just going to be running so many routes. But he that was last week, by the way, 77% route participation rate. Will Dissly was back. So
yeah.
Aronde Gadsden was just their tight end. He's their primary receiving tight end. Colts are the 13th best matchup for tight ends by adjusted points allowed. 21% target share last week. If QJ is out, I feel real good. If he's not, he's like a tight end too.
Mason Taylor, who I think could function as the wide receiver 1 for the Jets. I know he's a tight end, but
how long is Garrett Wilson? Do you guys know anything about Garrett Wilson's length of being out?
Maybe 2 weeks, but it sounds like maybe more.
Yeah.
And also Josh Reynolds didn't practice today. And so you're looking at, as far as I can tell, Arian Smith.
He was his prospect profile made me want to do what CJ did in the car. It was so agreed. That pick was so bad. The Arian Smith pick, one of those picks where I just go it was like Velus Jones bad. What are you guys doing right now? Yeah. At least Velus Jones was a day 2 pick, and this was a day 3.
The analytics did not like poor Velus. So Mason Taylor, I mean, I guess he's just going to be the top target getter probably for the Jets. Garrett Wilson has accounted for 34% of the team's targets and 45% of the team's air yards. So that's, big gap to fill. Tight ends are seeing an average of 7.5 targets per game against the Panthers. And the Panthers allow the 4th highest completion rate on throws between 1 and 10 yards, which is obviously where the tight end would operate. I think Taylor's in a good spot.
Are you playing Aaron Rodgers or Justin Fields this week?
I actually think Fields.
I think you probably go Fields because the matchup's just not bad, and
It's not, and the Panthers cannot pressure. Don't pressure the
right,
passer.
exactly. So I think that we still might see like an okay enough game. I feel like the Justin Fields hate has gotten a little bit out of hand this week after that Denver game.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, he didn't have a chance. Like they didn't give him a chance.
And I'm not saying that he was good. Like he was always like a half second behind on all of his timing routes and stuff. But like to me, like I don't know. We don't do that with other quarterbacks who are like that. Agree. It's just like I don't know. I didn't think he was like that bad. Like he was really bad, but like to the point of like saying that like people victory lapping that I've seen people victory lapping fading Justin Fields in fantasy. And I'm like, what are you talking? He's literally been like one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy when he's finished games and been healthy, aside from this Denver game, you know?
I feel like that's a little premature. We have a question in the chat. I just wanted to point this out, just give maybe listeners an idea of how to value Harold Fannin, your guy, going forward. This week, the question is Fannin or Darren Waller, and I think it's easily Fannin.
I have Fannin ahead. I have Fannin at tight end 8 right now in my weekly rankings.
With Njoku out.
With Njoku, assuming Njoku's out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Fannin's closer to like the Dallas Goedert tier than he is the, Zach Ertz. I mean, Ertz is actually not a bad play because of Dallas, but like, or Kelsey might be a better example, with Rashee Rice coming back. I
would go Fannin over Kelsey.
Oh yeah, I have Fannin over Kelsey. I have Fannin over Waller, Ertz, Kelsey, Hunter Henry, Mason Taylor. He's good, and that's assuming Njoku's out.
Waller has to get away with it, and Fannin does not, obviously.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with Michael Mayer. Without Brock Bowers last week, 80% route share and a 32% target share. So we have to ride this. Not an easy matchup against the Chiefs, but we're hoping for sort of a negative game script so that they throw the ball a
lot. Noah Fant is going to be the de facto or nominal, however you want to say it, tight end 1 for the Bengals because Mike Gesicki is on IR with a pec injury, obviously taking on the Steelers. Fant ran around on 41% of the routes. Dropbacks last week. Tanner Hudson, the other Bengals tight end, ran 36% of the routes. Weird thing with Fant, and I've been tracking this in regression files because it's come like a hobby horse of mine. Noah Fant has been targeted on 30% of his routes this season. That's weird.
I remember him getting some looks. By the way, I didn't realize this until literally today after I published my rankings. Tanner Hudson's in concussion protocol.
I didn't realize that.
Me either. And so I'm not surprised because it's weird how like the lesser known players don't get reported and no one really cares.
No.
And so like we're like, but they're important. Like that's really important for fantasy. Like Noah Fant could be in like that. Like let's assume like Mike Evans plays this week. Okay. Noah Fant versus Cade Otton. I'd probably still play Otton, but like I don't think it's like that crazy of a play to go Noah Fant instead.
If Hudson is out, then Fant's running. He's going to run 80% of the routes.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's going to see the same route share as Cade Otton, and I think he's better than Cade Otton from like a receiving perspective. Yeah. So I would still play Otton, but I'm just saying, like I think I would play Noah Fant over Theo Johnson and probably like TJ Hawkinson because of the way Hawkinson's been playing this year. That's where I think that's where we're at with Fant.
Yeah.
All right.
Who do we have?
You have more? Did you have more? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. Okay. Defenses.
We'll go quick. Browns against the Dolphins. Miami's the 10th best matchup for defenses by adjusted points allowed. Cleveland's at home, 2.5-point favorites, 39.5-point over under. Miami has a 19-point total. It's a pretty good play. I think they're probably the top defensive streamer. Defensive streaming sucks this week.
It's pretty bad. Panthers against the Jets. I know we just talked about like still playing Fields or whatever, but whatever. Carolina is facing the 4th highest pass rate over expected on the season, so could force some dropbacks and some throws from Justin Fields, which is always good, especially when he has no one to throw to, because obviously no Garrett. Panthers don't have much of a pass rush, but it might not matter considering Fields is being sacked on 25% of his pressures. It's one of the highest rates in the league.
We're going to go to the Bears. I don't feel great about the Bears because they don't pressure the quarterback like at all, but they're 5.5-point home favorites. The Saints have a 20.5 total in this game. New Orleans, just an average opponent for defenses. This is more of like a, game total and spread kind of play. And the defense is playing at home. And Spencer Rattler playing fine for what we expected from him, but obviously still generally a plus matchup.
And I have the Browns, correct?
You have the Dolphins.
I have the. I'm sorry. I have the Dolphins. Yes. Yeah. Should be lots of Gabriel dropbacks, Dylan Gabriel dropbacks, and Dylan Gabriel ranks 34th out of 34 qualifying quarterbacks and completion rate over expected. I don't know if we have a sack-based floor, but we could have some interceptions, some turnovers.
All right, to recap, we have at tight end Michael Mayer, Noah Fant, Rondé Gadsden, K. Dotton, Mason Taylor, Harold Fannin. Defense, Panthers, Bears, Browns, Dolphins. Quarterback, Aaron Rodgers is sort of like the main guy. Jackson Dart, Sam Darnold, and Joe Flacco. All right, Denny, let's get to some questions from Twitter and from other places.
Yeah.
The first one is from @SteakKnifeOb.
We love steak knife, yes.
Do you store your bread in the refrigerator?
No.
How many people do this?
Lots of people.
Do they? I didn't grow up that way.
No.
Amanda didn't grow up that way. We don't do it.
See, I like to use the bread.
Right.
And so what do you have to put it in the toaster like immediately, I guess?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, are people just eating cold bread?
No, no one's doing that.
I don't eat bread anymore. Every once in a while I'll have gluten-free bread, but I don't really have bread very often. So.
I'm not a bread bro myself, but we keep it in a little bread container along with like the tortillas and whatever. So
someone said gluten-free has to be after opening. I mean, I don't really buy gluten-free bread. I don't know if is that true that it has to be? I'm not out there buying gluten-free bread and really eating it. Like, I'm usually getting sandwiches from places to have the gluten-free bread, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard, but I don't eat dairy or gluten.
You took that up this week.
Yes, yeah, just this week. That's the only
what I understand. Can I say something brave here? Wonder Bread is good, and I don't want to hear from the snobs in my household that say Wonder Bread is not as good as other breads. Wow. It's fine. It's fine. Just because it doesn't come in some fancy packaging and cost double.
It doesn't have like nuts on the crust or anything like that.
Right. It doesn't have 147 different kinds of grains in it. Right. That doesn't mean that it's not good. Do I eat it every day? Of course not. I can't as a 42-year-old dad, but I like me some Wonder Bread. I don't care who knows it, honestly.
Okay. Next question @I am Groot 2001. How annoying are same position start sit questions? Then follow-up question: how annoying is the guy who has asked the same start sit question to multiple analysts?
Oh my god. Oh.
I'll tell you what, if someone, I don't answer any start sits on social media anymore because of the Patreon and stuff in my business. But, I feel like if people are wanting my advice and they're paying me money as a subscription, I'm going to focus on them. Right. Yeah. But I will say nothing irritates me more than when I see a tweet. I mean, a lot of things irritate me more. When I see a tweet or a skeet, whatever they call it on Blue Sky.
Post.
And I click that person's profile and I see they've asked it to at least 40 different analysts. Also, don't tag me with 40 other different analysts in the same post and then all of them are respond. Oh my gosh, stop. Just stop.
This used to be very commonplace when it was Twitter, where you would get tagged with 10 to 15 others about, this guy or that guy. And for me, it eventually became an Insta block. Where I was like, no,
it's a mute for me. I mean, if someone does that, I mute them. Yeah.
So super, super frustrating. I do a Q&A on Fridays that competes with JJ show on Fridays.
Yeah.
And we're competing for the 50 million people who play fantasy football. Right. So there's only so many to go around. My least favorite question on those Q&As is when people will tell me their entire roster, as if I need to know. But on air, I have to read what's in front of me, right? So I'm trying to skim. Okay, like, okay, here's the thing: you're going to play CD Lamb, like, I mean, when he's healthy, like, he should not be part of your calculus about who to play this week. It drives me nuts.
Definitely different for start. Like people overthink start sits a lot, and they also don't realize that start sits are only start sit questions because they're 50-50 to begin with. They're coin flip for the most part to begin with. So a lot of times whenever I answer start sit, half the time it's a coin flip for me. Some of the times I have like a pretty, decent, like,
yeah. I like when I have a strong feeling.
yeah, I
And
feel
I'll
good
say that.
whenever that happens, but that doesn't happen every single start sit. And I try to be honest about that, but yeah, I mean, it can be a lot. All right, this is another one from I Am Groot, and I think it's a good one to talk about. Saw this on Facebook recently. What is the better fall flavor, apple or pumpkin?
I don't like pumpkin.
See, I love pumpkin, but I think that pumpkin is the higher variance answer here. If I'm trying to get something that is specifically fall, I'll go pumpkin over apple. Like specifically fall. Like I'm trying to feel
right.
But like apple is a year round thing. Like I could do anything apple all the time.
That makes sense. Apple cider.
Yeah, I had some great apple cider at the patch last weekend.
Oh man.
Yeah, great apple cider. Just was downing apple cider. I mean, I just had to pee 14 times there, but it was delicious.
Wait, cold or hot?
It was hot.
Yeah.
It was hot apple cider because it was like 55 degrees. It was a little bit cooler over the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was good hot apple cider weather.
What kind of booze do you put in apple cider?
You probably just put like any clear liquor, like a vodka or something.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no. You're totally wrong there. It has to be a dark liquor.
You think it's dark? You
think
dark goes with dark? I was thinking that it's gotta be like tamer because the
bourbon.
Oh, bourbon. Okay. Someone said bourbon.
Okay. Yeah. In the chat, bourbon.
So my stance on that kind of thing though is that like it's all gonna generally taste the same. It's not gonna be that different. Like stop this rum and bourbon versus a vodka tasting so dramatically different from one another when you have an overpowering flavor in the apple cider. It is an overpowering flavor.
Okay, I'm lost on a couple levels here.
I've had my fair share of alcohol in my time, Denny. Okay,
you saying that vodka and bourbon are at the same?
No, standalone. No, I'm saying that when you have a drink like apple cider, that's going to be pretty strong in flavor. Like apple cider is like intense because it's so distilled down and it's so sugary, right?
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, that no matter what you add, unless you're going to get absolutely wasted and you're going to just have a ton of alcohol in there.
Maybe
my
you're
thing
right.
Is like I'm going to just go for like a low calorie, like easy. Just I'm trying to just feel a little bit as opposed to like caring that deeply about the flavor.
I don't care about flavor. Okay, like let me be clear. I could care less about flavor. I've never had the vodka and apple cider.
Well, I haven't had anything with apple cider. I don't drink alcohol with apple cider, period.
I had bourbon with apple cider, and I'm trying to tell you, it was good. And
it's not. Look, listen. Okay. Apple cider alone is objectively better than apple cider with any alcohol. The people who say this tastes good, they're just saying that it tastes good versus expectation.
It tastes good over expected.
That's right.
Or under expected.
Yeah, it's TGOE. Tastes good over expected. Yes.
Oh man, we need Ben Baldwin to get on this.
I stop this whole like, oh, this is actually like really, really good. This drink that has acid in it, that's gonna just burn my esophagus. This actually tastes like really, really good. It's fine if you enjoy alcohol. I enjoy alcohol too. I'm just saying, don't pretend like this stuff tastes better than like a milkshake or something. Like these things objectively taste better when they don't have alcohol in them. They do. It's fine to say that. Then you can't say that something with alcohol is better than something without alcohol, and unless it's like a very, very, very specific thing that it was meant to be had with alcohol.
When's the last time you drank? I feel like your memory is just completely.
I haven't drank since football season. Probably at the expo in August. Honestly,
good God.
Yeah, I don't need to drink that. I don't drink that much anymore.
That's okay. That's fine.
But I guarantee you, I've had more alcohol in my lifetime.
Oh, absolutely. You've outdrank me. Yes, for sure.
That's the problem. Is that I have those memories still.
Yeah,
and I don't need to.
But I'm just saying. Look. I've had I don't know what you call it, like a virgin margarita.
Yeah,
before?
okay. Strawberry daiquiri, with or without alcohol, what tastes better?
What do you put in a daiquiri?
That's rum, right?
Rum? Oh, but rum's horrible.
Okay, put vodka in it. I don't care.
No, that's a bad example. I'm telling you, a margarita with no tequila is bad,
Okay, but
and with
I think
tequila
that
is
okay,
good.
that's one of the very specific drinks, okay? That's one of the very because margaritas with the alcohol is still like a sipping experience, right? Like it's not
Yeah.
a big gulp experience, okay? And so like
It can be.
when you're doing it without the alcohol, you're going to experience it the same way. So sure, that's one. That's one of the very few examples that but I'm saying like any sort of like sweet drink and good drink like apple cider or daiquiris or
Yeah.
like any of that. Like you're telling me that a screwdriver tastes better with it than without it?
Ooh,
That would just
ooh.
be orange juice, which is
No.
that's what I'm saying though.
No.
People make it sound like drinks are better with it. They're not better with alcohol. They just make you feel better.
I think that's my issue here is that I drank the apple cider with not rum with bourbon around a fire with people also drinking
Okay, so
it,
you just had good times.
and it was a good time.
That's fine. I
And
accept that.
it was a mean ass hangover
Don't tell me it tastes better.
because that all that sugar plus the liquor,
Bad combo. That's a
holy.
really bad combo. Yeah, you're
Oof.
probably dehydrated AF after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can I read one from Patreon?
Sure.
All right. Long time patron, friend of the show, Casey Feta says, "What's the right move when a stranger knocks on your door? In the past, I've tried to be courteous and respond promptly, but solicitors just try to take advantage of that. So lately, I just let my dogs bark at them until they eventually move on."
Yeah. Look, I try to not be rude. Okay. Because I don't like being rude to anybody. This is just their job. They're trying to make a living. The thing that annoys me is when they do it at a time where clearly, if you have a family and you're in a
Oh,
residential neighborhood,
oh,
that you're like eating dinner or it's past bedtime or something like that. Like
dude.
you have to have some courtesy. And if you're doing something that could like wake my kid up or like ruin my experience with them, I'll get angry.
It's right. Yeah, you'll be Liam Neeson. You will hunt them down and make them pay.
Get out of here. Get out. And I'm
Uh,
just chasing them on the Ring doorbell.
I remember one time a guy came to my house selling windows. Okay,
That's all they sell things that they can't hold, by the way. It's always just stuff that oh, by the way, Sally down the street. I just did I did a window installation for her. You can get this 50% off. It's only going to cost you $17,000.
Yeah, right. If you act now,
If you're
you can have it's 185 easy payments.
Yeah, just open your checkbook and write me a check for 18 grand. It's fine.
And of course, I mean, it's like a 19-year-old, and you're just like,
Right.
I'm trying to be nice. Anyway, this guy comes to my door, and he's chipper, and he is pumped, and he's on one of those scooters, those stupid looking scooters. And I'm holding Eleanor. She was like 2-3 years old. I'm holding her in one arm. I'm trying to get dinner together. Melissa's not home. Xavier's running around screaming, doing something.
Yeah.
And he's talking to me as if nothing is happening.
That's the thing. Yes, that pisses me off so much. I can't handle that.
And I was like, I actually was like, I'm really sorry. This is actually a bad time. He was like, oh, okay.
Is it not picking up on these social cues, buddy?
And maybe, look, I would like to think when I was 19, and if I was selling windows door to door, that I would see that and be like, this dad is in hell right now. Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
But maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
The irony of it all is that they're trying to sell you a roof for your house, but you have to sell your house to be able to afford the roof.
It's so expensive.
It's so expensive.
And then they trick you. They all these little tricks with someone sold me some sort of bug zapper thing that they
You bought it?
Yeah, I bought it because the price.
You're the one keeping these people coming back to houses.
I know. The price quote was so cheap. It seemed cheap, but then they were like, "Oh, by the way, you have a really big backyard, so it'll be 4 times that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Come on."
Of course. They always have to like give you like do you know the Smiths?
Yeah. And I'm
the
like,
way?
no, I don't know the Smiths.
No, I've never talked to them in my life. I don't know who the Smiths are, and you probably just made that name up, and they probably don't even live there.
Right. Oh, I wish I knew the neighborhood better, so I could be like, you're just making that up, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I have another one from patron Denver dude, who's a good question guy, by the way. I have a coworker who regularly farts around the office.
Oh God.
He's an older guy, and I can't tell if he thinks he's being sneaky or just doesn't care. What is my path forward? An intervention, an anonymous note, or do I have to respect this man's game and live with it?
An anonymous note is hilarious. Like what do you put on the post-it that you then put on their desk?
Your butt stinks, dude.
Yeah.
Like
quit ripping ass. Like what are you saying here?
For me, I'm so intent on avoiding conflict
Yeah, me too.
that I actually would just live with it.
Yeah, I'd have to cover all my drinks.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't have your drinks sitting. We talked about this before. You cover all your drinks. You try not to breathe as much.
Oh my gosh.
You really work on that resting heart rate, so you're not huffing and puffing very frequently. You're able to like meditate a little bit so that you have a better chance of not breathing in as much and breathing in the fart smell.
It's I mean, honestly though, like if you're the old guy who's farting, like you got to do better than that. You have to be nice and courteous to your coworkers, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, like this guy clearly does not care anymore.
No,
he doesn't care anymore.
I guess he's like Creed.
I know that there are some, like I remember my late aunt, I think I've talked about this before, but like we were at we were sitting at dinner when she was visiting, and she was like, it was my great aunt, and she was like in her 80s, she couldn't hear at all, and it was kind of quiet at the dinner table, and we heard her just rip one. Like it was just the loudest rip that I've literally ever heard. And we all start kind of like smirking and laughing, and she just played it off like nothing was happening. So I wonder if it's like your nerve endings are different when you're older and you can't really feel it happening and the vibration happening.
For sure. No, listen, I think that's like a thing. That's like a thing. I'm sorry that I don't know like the facts and figures about that, but
we need a geriatric doctor to let us know if something changes with the way that if like they know it's happening, but they just try to ignore it because they think no one else can hear it, or if they literally just cannot feel it happening.
And in that case, I feel bad.
That's right. That's right. All right. Do we have any more from there?
Not right now. Do you have any?
I do. What is this is from Johnny F. Ballseed. What is the millennial equivalent of 6'7"? I've been trying to get into it more and more.
Maybe
that's stupid. We didn't have brain rot like this.
No, right. Our brains were healthier, but I'll tell you what it was. I know exactly what it was.
What
was that?
Yeah, that's probably
that thing.
Yeah, but that at least had meaning. Like you're saying "what's up," right? In a stupid way because of the commercials and stuff.
Yeah,
but that's exactly what Index says. Bud Light was up commercial is the same thing. You're probably right. You know that a handful of years ago, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, when I was gaming with the boys, because I still will game and play online with my buddies. We started every time we would log in, we started doing that just to be like totally dumb and like over the top with it. We were trying to bring it back for a little while.
You trying to bring it? Did it work?
What if on this show we started every show just going what that?
My God, yeah. Hey, listen, if we wanted to, we could engineer this show to alienate everybody except for elder millennials.
I kind of wouldn't hate that. If I'm being completely honest with you, I wouldn't hate that.
We could corner the market on people who play fantasy football born between 1980 and 1985.
Okay, let's get a little bit older than that.
Oh wait, when were you born? 88?
I'm an 88 boy. How about in the 80s? Okay.
All right.
But again, I grew up with older siblings. I know all this stuff.
Yeah, you're older at heart.
I was still a Saved by the Bell kid. My friends are like split with like a Saved by the Bell sitch, you know. But like our kids are growing up with brain rot. I grew up with like the aggro crag, you know. Like I'm Guts on Nickelodeon.
Okay.
You know,
I'm too old for that. I honestly am.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that. Yeah. That's some of the gap. Like I played Pokemon. You didn't play Pokemon.
No.
Right.
Didn't know about Pokemon at all.
I was the very earliest Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah, like the soonest. Yes.
My son is super into Pokemon to the fact that where I know way too much. I know that there's a Cheeto Charizard that is worth $80,000.
Wow.
Yeah. It just came out of a bag that looks like a Charizard, I guess, and it's a hot Cheeto, whatever, and it's 80 grand. I'm getting it for Christmas. For
Did Xavier like play the game?
We have played the game a couple times. Actually, Xavier's right here, and he's asking to come on to talk about it. Xavier, tell them about us playing Pokemon, because you always kick my butt.
So I would make decks, and for him, because he's really bad.
Yeah.
I also have a jar of regret because I sold a card for $150 and now it's $750.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he has an app that said that tracks the value of Pokemon cards.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Xavier, back in the day, I used to collect Pokemon cards when they first came out, like the original Pokemon cards. I don't have them anymore. I can't even imagine how much some of those are worth.
Oof.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. You can pay rent for like a year with that.
You could have paid rent, JJ.
Yeah, no, I know. I had like a first edition like Blastoise back in the day, like from the original cards.
Think of how many golf carts you could have had.
I know. By the way, I found out because I'm part of the brand of golf cart that I got. I'm part of a group on Facebook just to make sure that I'm keeping up to date on everything with the cart. You know which NFL player bought the same brand recently, just based on one of the dealers going to the group and saying, I sold this to this player.
No way. Jalen Coker.
It's actually a pretty good guess. Kendrick Bourne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a local group. It's a around.
Okay.
So with Bourne going off on Thursday night, someone posted, was like, hey, I sold him this golf cart.
Yeah. Oh, nice. There you go.
We're golf cart bros. Yeah.
You have a connection. Well,
I'm not an easy goer. Okay. Didn't get an easy go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Xavier. Good seeing you, buddy.
I think also, just so you know, I think that Blastoise is around $7,000.
Sweet. Awesome. I'm going to go cry. Thank you. All right, Denny. That's it for today's show. Let everyone know where they can find you.
I'm posting on Blue Sky, and all my work can be found on rotoworld.com. Check out the Rotoworld football show with me, Pat Doherty, and Kyle Dvorak. I also have my Q&A on Fridays on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel.
I have a show on Friday also at the same time
at 1:00.
Yeah, 1:00.
You got to choose. You got to choose. Listen, you choosing mom or you choosing dad?
No, which one are you going for? Check out all my stuff over on lateround.com. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, youtube.com/@lateroundff. Otherwise, everyone, we will catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to Living the Stream. We hope you enjoyed the internet podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes now. It won't take long, it's fast. For more fantasy football info, check out
lateround.com and RotoWorld.
Hope you come back soon as we share about the teams and as we live in the stream.